Bismillah.
The fast will not break from eating, drinking, sexual intercourse if any of these three are done forgetfully.
Right, so now let's understand this point. If a person forgets that they are fasting and eats something, or they forget that they are fasting and they drink something, and during that entire time they don't know that they're fasting, or they forget that they are fasting and they have sexual intercourse, then their fast will not be broken. G.
A wet dream.
Now, there's another bit of detail relating to this which will come later. Okay, number 2, a wet dream. If a person wakes up from a wet dream, they need to perform their ghusl, and they ought to be cautious in the way they rinse their mouth and nose, but their fast is not broken. G.
Ejaculation because of looking.
Ejaculation because of looking. If he's looking at something which is haram, that's a separate thing. He's become sinful as a consequence. If he's looking at his own spouse, then it's something he should avoid, and it's makruh in the state of fasting when it's going to jeopardize his fast. But to do anything that jeopardizes your fast is makruh. But his fast hasn't broken. G.
Applying oil.
Applying oil to your hair and skin, this does not break your fast. G.
Taking a bath to keep cool.
Right, taking a bath, whether it's for janaba or to keep cool, taking a bath does not break your fast. G.
Using a miswak.
Using a miswak, not only does it not break your fast, it's preferable to do so. Not just when you're fasting, but outside of fasting as well. G.
Applying a scent or smelling it.
Applying scent, itar, perfume, smelling itar, perfume does not break your fast. In fact, it's a sunnah which applies in Ramadan as it does outside of Ramadan. For Jummah, for example. G.
Cupping.
Cupping does not break your fast, which also means that giving a blood sample for a blood test, this will not, drawing blood from the body, bloodletting, cupping, giving blood, donating blood, these things will not break your fast. G.
Applying surma.
Applying surma, meaning kuhl, applying, what do you call it in English? Huh?
Antimony.
Antimony. This does not break your fast. And applying, putting eye drops into your eyes, this doesn't break your fast either. Or soaking your contact lenses in contact lens solution and then putting those into your eyes will not break your fast. This is specifically relating to the eyes. G.
Kissing without ejaculation.
Kissing without ejaculation does not break your fast, but it's makruh for a young person. It's not makruh for an older person. Really, it's about the state of that person. If a person is in the prime of his youth, then he may get carried away with his spouse and they may then do something which does break their fast and necessitate kafara as well as the qada, 60 extra fasts. And this will be a sin for them. But if they are in their autumn years and there's no such risk, then it won't be makruh for them. So it's on a case-to-case basis. G.
Dust or a fly entering the throat whilst remembering that one is fasting.
Right. If you happen to swallow some dust as you're walking down the street and there's a blast of air, or a fly enters into your throat and inadvertently you swallow it, but you know that you're fasting, it's not out of forgetfulness, but it's not intentional either. No one's going to swallow a fly out intentionally. It doesn't break your fast. G.
Swallowing something from between the teeth.
So the worst culprit, this is just a tangent, okay? The worst culprit is cornflakes. It's sticking your teeth like glue, no? And they're very popular as well, mashallah, crunchy nut and what have you, in Ramadan. So, I'm mentioning this specifically because I want you to understand the ruling. You know, so if you don't have time to brush properly and the fast begins, then, and the fast begins, and then, you know, you're performing fajr and something between your teeth dislodges and you swallow it, it's already in your mouth, it doesn't break your fast. If it's smaller than a pea. And it is going to be smaller than a pea. It's not going to be larger than that unless you have huge holes in your teeth. It's not likely. You're not tiring, are you? You're not tiring, are you? I have a very quiet audience. Are we okay?
Yes.
Okay. Let me tell you a story just to divert your attention, to lighten the mood a little bit. You know, I was in Salah one day, and a Haji Ji, an Uncle Ji, was performing Salah next to me. And there was so much noise coming from his mouth that I was convinced that he's chewing something. And in my mind I was thinking, do I say anything to him? Or do I not say anything to him? But it went on, chomp, 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 chomp. So I tapped him, I says, Uncle, aap kuch kha rahe the? Are you eating something? And I learned a lesson this day. And we learn this lesson, we're reminded constantly that we should have a positive opinion of people no matter what. He says, son, I've got a loose tooth. He says, when I recite, my tooth moves. So, if you have something stuck in your tooth, less than a chickpea, then, and it dislodges and you swallow it, it's already in your mouth, it doesn't break your fast. Ji.
Vomiting which goes back down.
Right. If people confuse this masala a lot, the hukum of vomiting, the only type of vomiting which will break your fast is intentional vomiting. Right? Intentional vomiting. And we'll come to that later. If you vomit, naturally, spontaneously, it comes up. And it comes up to your throat and then it just drops down again before it comes out. It just happens by itself. It does not break your fast.